practice. So I wonder if I could ask you to explain a little bit about the intent and the purpose behind the festival this weekend.
Well, for us as members of our particular sampradaya, our spiritual tradition, chanting mantras really the most important activity that we do. As the listeners probably know, it's a transcendental sound vibration mantra. Ma means mind and tra means to deliver. So a transcendental sound vibration delivers us from material consciousness and helps us understand who we really are as spiritual beings. It's not easy to come to those spiritual realizations because we're conditioned souls. We've been in this world for many lifetimes. So we have to work on it. We have to work on the chanting to purify our hearts and reveal our deeper spiritual nature. So we take it very seriously. Every morning, actually, we take our beads, our meditation beads, 108 beads, and we chant the mantra very softly. The mantra that our Guru's given us. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We also chant it congregationally in our ashrams whenever we come together. We have other mantras, but that's our favorite mantra. It's the most potent mantra. And throughout the year, we organize these type of events where our members can come together and chant in a spiritual environment, a spiritual atmosphere, where some of our best singers and musicians come, and we can sing the mantra together for many hours at a time. That's very effective. Actually, in our teachings, that type of chanting is most effective. It's important to chant on the beads, but when you chant with many people together, you get this unified spirit going, and it affects the hearts of everyone. Very, very powerful. So we do that for many hours together, and that's really the purpose, to come together and sing our hearts out, sing the mantra together, sing to Krishna. We accept Krishna as the goal, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the chanting evokes a sense of love coming from the heart, connects us to Krishna with love. So if you do that for a long time in the association of like-minded peoples, you get that purification quickly, and you get that realization quickly, and you attain that divine love, that prema, very quickly. You can't do it all the time because we're busy in this world. People have their jobs, or they're going to school, but we make a point that 3 or 4 times a year we come together, and this musically in this environment we chant together, and we consider that kind of like a quantum leap in our spiritual progress, to come together and chant Hare Krishna very loudly.
The relationship between mantra and music is interesting. Mantra in itself is a powerful tool, a powerful practice. Combined with music, what happens when we combine mantra with music?
You see, the mantra itself is enough. It's called Shabda Brahma in Sanskrit. Shabda Brahma means a pure, transcendental sound vibration, which is not of this world. No mantra, bona fide mantra. Sometimes people make up mantras, but mantras are actually found in Shastra, in scripture, in the Vedas of India. So mantras are not coming from this world, they're from another dimension. They actually come from the spiritual sky. Far beyond this material creation, there's a spiritual world, where life is eternal, full of knowledge and bliss. So Krishna or his representatives, or the great masters, they bring the mantra from the spiritual world. It said, Golok Prem Dan Harinam Shan Kirtan, that the mantra comes. And if you chant that mantra, you have to receive that mantra from a spiritual preceptor, a spiritual teacher, ultimately, for it to really have full effect, to be initiated into the mantra. And it's sufficient. I've seen in India, I spend most of my time now in India in my elder years. I've been going to India for 48 years. And I've associated with sadhus of so many different spiritual traditions. And I see that it's sufficient for them just to sit under a banyan tree or sit near a sacred river or in the Himalayas and just repeat their mantra over and over again, whatever that mantra may be, because the mantra in and of itself is enough to liberate one from the material world. But because we're conditioned souls, and the nature of the mind is very flickering. This is one of the main subjects of the Bhagavad Gita. The yogi has to control his mind. because his mind has been very busy searching for material pleasure in this world for eons of time. This is what we do in the material world. We're looking for pleasure, although it never really comes, because this is the nature of this world. Pleasure is very fleeting, and it doesn't really satisfy the soul, it just satisfies the senses of the body. We keep looking here and there and everywhere for pleasure. So when we get a mantra, it's hard to fix our mind on the mantra. Arjuna actually says to Krishna, after Krishna explained the whole yoga system, the process of meditation, he said, Arjuna says to Krishna, I can't sit and just fix my mind like that. My mind's like, controlling my mind is like trying to control the wind. So Krishna replies, it's possible to control the mind by constant practice and detachment. Detachment from the material world, and practice by focusing your mind on something spiritual. By focusing the mind on something spiritual, you get a higher taste. It's called Param Drishta Nivartante. So what do you fix your mind on? You fix your mind on the sound vibration, the mantra, which is spiritual. And to help you fix your mind on the mantra, because any yoga practitioner will agree, you sit down and you try to meditate and your mind's all over the place. What you did yesterday, what's happening today, the business, the fight with your girlfriend. I mean, any honest practitioner will admit it's really hard to control the mind. So along with the mantra, we embellish the mantra with beautiful musical instruments and the voices of those who are gifted. Krishna says, I am the ability in men and women. So the men and the women who have good voices, we ask them to sing. And there's the musical instruments. And that helps us keep our attention on the mantra, because the melodies are very devotional. And the goal of the yoga is to awaken love for the Supreme. So you can hear in the background a very beautiful melody. So we can sing for hours, because it's like you put a jewel in a ring, but you embellish it with little diamonds around. You've got the emerald, but you have the little diamonds around as well. So the emerald's enough, but the diamonds bring out the beauty of the emerald. So the sound that we hear, this sacred sound festival, the musical instruments and the singing, it embellishes the mantra and keeps our mind fixed. So we get the full benefit of chanting the mantra. We can go on for hours like this, but you may not go on for hours in meditation. Some people can, but most of us can't.
In some of the yoga practices, I've heard it said that the ultimate goal is to withdraw from the senses, or part of the path is to withdraw from the senses. In some ways, one could say that sensory stimulation could also include music. That there's a point maybe where the stimulation of music is actually it serves its purpose up to a point. Could you embellish on that?
You see, it's true. We have to withdraw from our senses, because our senses entangle us in this world. There's a lot of bait in this world to keep us in the cycle of reincarnation. Like a fish, he sees the bait on the hook. So that looks very nice. So he bites it, but he's in trouble. You can catch an elephant in India by digging a big pit and covering it with grass and putting a she-elephant on the other side. The male elephant comes, you want to capture him, he goes for the female elephant, but he gets caught by that sense desire. The deer hears the flute of the hunter. It's very beautiful, she comes, but she's shot. So our senses entangle us. This is the basis of any yogic system, any spiritual life, Buddhism, whatever, that we have to control our senses. So we withdraw them. But at the same time, it's understood that deep within this body is an Atma, is a soul. And the soul is a person. The soul's not energy, it's not light. Krishna describes the soul in the Gita, which is the authorized text, that the soul's a person. So we have a spiritual form. We're spiritual persons with a spiritual body and spiritual senses. So what we do is we withdraw our senses from the material world by taking vows of austerity, so we don't become entangled like the fish or the elephant or the deer. So, in our tradition, no meat eating, which means meat, fish, and eggs. No illicit sex, which means sex outside of marriage. We practice a type of celibacy, not full celibacy, but celibacy. No intoxication. We don't take drugs, which for the yogi means, The drugs affect your body, your mind, your intelligence. So we refrain from that. And no gambling. So that's our kind of like the tortoise drawing in his limbs to protect himself from the predator. But that's not enough to keep you going, because you have to have a taste. You have to have some activity. It's not enough to just to retreat, because, we are by nature creatures of happiness and enjoyment and love. So that's on the spiritual platform. So we withdraw our material senses, but we engage our spiritual senses in activity. It's not that when you become liberated, you cease to exist. If you become liberated from the material world, then you can become the spiritual person you are. So immediately we withdraw our senses, but we use our spiritual senses to stimulate the soul. Like when we hear these songs, they're spiritual songs. We eat food, it's been offered to God as spiritual food. We see spiritual objects when we go to the ashrams and the temples. So we withdraw, but at the same time we stimulate our spiritual senses. So it's kind of a synthesis like that we withdraw, but we're totally engaged in spiritual activities. So we're not unhappy because we're not doing anything. We're doing spiritual activity.
It's been a wonderful experience for me as a musician to engage in these practices.
And we very much appreciated your participating.
Thank you.
You're a great guitarist, and you dovetailed it in a totally spiritual way and stimulated us.
Superb. Can we expect more next year? Bigger, better?
Yeah, well, last year was our first year, and this was our second year, and it's expanded. But the real expansion, I feel, is the people who come. It's the people who make up the bhajan. And we're hoping that more people who are not just our own members, because this is a universal process. So we're hoping that the public will come. Any aspiring transcendentalists, yoga teachers, yoga practitioners, seekers of the truth. We're an open-minded community, and we welcome everybody. We consider everybody like our brother and sister. So our arms are open. Please come and be part of this great event. Bring your tent. We've got a little village down below for the guests. It's called Krishna's Village, and you can set your tent up there. And the prasadam, the food is free, the entertainment's free. If you can give a little donation, great. If not, no problem. No worries, as you say down here. And come and be part of a yajna. This is a great yajna, and everyone is welcome and experience this wonderful divine world of sacred sound, and it just can carry you. The waves can carry you far beyond the ocean of material existence, all the way back to the ocean of devotion in the spiritual world, where life's eternal, full of knowledge and bliss. So please come, everyone who hears the broadcast. Thank you.